For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Breaking news, Pierre government to appoint UWPs to help fight crime. I'll explain and you'll find this very fascinating in just a moment as we embark yet upon another journey to focus on those developments that are of interest to you right here on the most monitored talk show in the world, and that is NewsSpin on Power 97.9 FM. We are also on YouTube, and don't forget to click to subscribe your YouTube channel. And also we are on the NewsSpin Facebook page. My name is Timothy Poleon. We go up until 2 o'clock this afternoon. In a moment, your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. And Kimani will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. A very early good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Breaking news. Pierre government to appoint UWPs to help fight crime. What do you think about this?
Well, I agree with his statement, I think, during the pre-cabinet press briefing where he said that there need not be any governmental opposition when it comes to crime. So
But he also said, why should we have to unite?
Right.
You know, to fight crime. This is supposed to be something that is automatic, and to use his words, that is superfluous. That is, unwarranted.
Right.
Anyway, we're just making light of a serious situation. So the breaking news is something that's fabricated. There's a flyer that is in circulation. I don't know if you saw it. You did not see it. Okay. So should I call the person an SLP lapdog, maybe? You know, somebody who is influenced, by other people and so on, their surrogates, etc., etc.
Maybe that could suffice him.
No, lapdog. Lapdog. All right. So we have a flyer. Breaking news. Pierre government to appoint UWPs to help fight crime. Spider to help against kidnapping. Fede to help against pedophilia. Chasney to help against white-collar crime, Herod to help against embezzlement through SRDF, Herman Gill to stop making deals with VA4 drug lords for votes, Guy to help against crooks taking commission government loans. Now, again, I described the person crime problem in this country. And calls are being made for the people of St. Lucia, irrespective of political affiliation, to unite around this common enemy. Some people are being mischievous. Some people are embarking upon a course of action that again is aimed at further dividing the St. Lucian society along political lines. And this is to the extent that they will try to besmirch the character of their political opponents. You are saying that an individual would sit before a computer and would come up with such a plan, and yet still those are the individuals, those are the people who would say that a number of their opponents are engaging in misinformation and disinformation. And the Prime Minister's favorite word, the victims of calumny. Not only what has been done there is slanderous, but it is also aimed at creating a particular image of certain opponents, political opponents of the St. Lucia Labour Party and the administration. It's as if we don't have better things to do right now. It is as if we don't know what is required of us, what is necessary, what should be given priority, as opposed to playing politics with a very, very serious problem that we are experiencing at this point in time. And any one of us can be a victim of crime. And such a flyer certainly will not deter the criminals among us in the society who are holding us to ransom, the criminals who are armed with illegal guns and ammunition, and who are having their way, whilst the government of the St. Lucia Labour Party is asleep, or worse yet, is in a coma. So let me see if I could speak with one of the victims of that mischievous flyer that seeks to further divide the people of this country along political lines. And I think we have that individual online. As we say, good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, hi, Tim. How are you?
Hi, I'm okay. How about you?
I'm holding on. I was just taken aback by what you just read there.
Mm-hmm. By the way, that's Mr. Herman Gill. Mr. Herman Gill
I'm happy
Francis.
that you called me, so maybe I'm talking about it.
Yeah. I mean, what do you make of this? Because when I saw it, I said to myself, but this is shocking. This is slanderous. This is certainly unnecessary. This is malicious as well.
Very much so, Tim. But again, what do you say about this sort of thing? That is the modus operandi of the St. Lucia Labour Party. It has always engaged in those sort of things. Even when they won an election in 1979, they destroyed Central Castries, the boulevard. You know, they are now in government, and the opposition is trying their very best, you know, to see how we can work with the St. Lucia Labour Party, because this country belongs to all of us. And like I said yesterday on Andre Paul's show, the police are the people, and the people are the police. The police are the only people who are being paid to fight the scourge of crime. But all of us have to be some sort of police officer in our own way of trying to help in this crime situation, because you're in the same party with us or opposite party. They do it at will. They do it without compunction. They do it without thinking of the consequences. And for the United Workers' Party to have gone so far out of its way to try to show the Labour Party how serious this problem is presently, and that we are willing to work with them for you now to be castigating some of the persons. And if you notice the names of the persons on the flyer, are people who have been very vocal, persons who have taken the risk of coming out there and saying it as it is. Okay? So they're going to try to silence you. And that is another section of what the Labour Party does. So by doing what they have done there, then Herman Gill will stay quiet because he's involved with gang leaders. You know, Spider will not speak because of him being accused of kidnapping. But they're doing it in a very superstitious way. And I've always challenged people that if you're going to say something about an individual, do it under your own name so that people recognize that you are sure of what you're saying. Because libel and slander, if you speak the truth, it is a defense. So if you're speaking the truth there, then you should not be afraid. Instead of going under a pseudonym or AKA, do not do that. Come out openly and say, well, Herman Gill Francis deals with the gangs and he was the report trying to get the gangs to get him votes. And then I will defend myself from you. But they are afraid of that because they know what they have done there is slanderous and action can be taken against them. And I'm telling you that if I were to get to know who did it, then I'm telling you that person would have a lot of explaining to do. Because I was in Vieux-Fort, I campaigned in Vieux-Fort, I received no money from anybody whatsoever in Vieux-Fort, and I'm sure of that. Okay, so to be saying this nonsense, doesn't hold water. In 2009, about 2009, when Richard Frederick had his Peace and Love, and he brought the gang leaders together, who was the one who actually spoke to those persons? Who was the one who participated by organizing the football matches, by refereeing the first match, by refereeing the finals? Okay? Who was the person who did that? So it was good for me to be able to deal with the gangs leaders at that time. But now you're accusing me of being involved with gang leaders for votes. It is really shameful, Tim. And it just shows again the characters of the people that are in the Labour Party. Because by now, the Prime Minister, somebody, or one of the deputy leaders should have come out and disassociate themselves with this sort of thing. But they will not do it. That's all I have to say, Tim.
But let me just ask you, in terms of the politics and crime, how do we as a people, irrespective of whether you're a supporter of the SLP or the UWP, unite to fight this scourge in St. Lucia?
Well, we can do it, Tim, because there have been commissions put in place. You can have a board, appoint certain persons. And yesterday I gave examples. I said there was Dr. Witt that we used during the COVID era in 2019-20. He came and he assisted the police force. Today he is the advisor to the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, who is the Minister of National Security. St. Kitts only has one homicide for the year. Last year I think it was only about 9. So whatever he seemed to be doing there and advising the Prime Minister is working. I made the suggestion that maybe the Prime Minister can call his counterpart in St. Kitts and speak to this gentleman. He may not be able to leave his job, but there is Zoom. He can call on a regular basis and have a meeting with the Prime Minister and the Commissioner of Police, advising them on what strategies they can use. I did that. Tim, at the end of the day, if the United Workers' Party were to win the next general elections, you will still be facing that same problem. And so if you can nip it in the bud now, it's going to make our jobs much easier. And that the Prime Minister can concentrate on building the economy, looking at agriculture, looking at the tourism, things and so on. Then we can get a better country. But if we have to come in there, and this problem is, as it is presently, a lot of time and energy will have to be spent in dealing with this matter. And as a small country, we cannot. But it is good, Tim, that these things are happening. And I want to make a recommendation that the Prime and the opposition have shadow ministers and each of them, and maybe a weekly or a monthly program where at least the minister responsible for national affairs can come to a radio station or television station and debate with me as a representative from the United States. And I think everybody will see what our projects are, what the policies are, and will make a decision based on the best policies of either party. But this fighting among themselves cannot work.
Finally, Mr. Francis, the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. I mean, people have been criticizing the government and saying that the government has fallen short when it comes to its response to crime. But what about the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, being a former deputy police commissioner?
And Tim, again, I mean, I don't know if you will get a recording of what I said yesterday with Andrew. The police has to do their work. The government, the Prime Minister, who is now the Minister of Home Affairs and National Security, has to be able to give the police all the tools, the necessary training, and those sort of things to assist them. But it has to be the police that has to go out there forcefully and do their work. So let me give you an example. In 1997, when Dr. Anthony won Viewford and became Prime Minister, Viewford had a problem with homicides. There was a problem. He called the commissioner at the time, Mr. Nelson, and asked Mr. Nelson to send me to Viewford. People in Viewford remember that. I went to Viewford as an assistant superintendent of police. And within 3 months, I was promoted to superintendent because I took Viewford by the horns and managed the crime situation there. I used to go out at night sometimes by myself. There was a dance hall there. They used to play music Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. And I went there myself about 10 o'clock in the night on a Saturday night, not even realizing that there were 2 police officers following me. But I went by myself. And I told the owner of that bar that he cannot play music on the Friday, Saturday, or on the Sunday after. He has to choose one. He told me that the police officers were the ones who were giving him the permit to play loud music. I told him, well, I'm the officer in charge now, and I'm telling you, you will have to choose one. He chose the Saturday night. When I was about leaving, then I said to police officers, I didn't even know they were following me. But you have to have strong persons within the police force that command that sort of respect, that are brave enough to go into the areas and deal with people in those situations. You shouldn't be afraid of if you know that there's a particular gang in an area. And you should be afraid to go in there and try and speak to that gang owner and make him understand that you are observing what he's doing and you will not tolerate the nonsense that he's doing. So the police has blame, but I said that this police force needs the requisite training that is required. The police officers have not been trained for the last 10 years, that's 10, 15 years, because of the Leahy law. All right, and who brought the Leahy law? That's 21 people. So you do not put all the police officers. You will find very good police officers. You will find police officers who are smarter, and police officers who just don't. But if you have good leadership, good management, then the police force will act accordingly. There's a great case of targeted crime in El Salvador. The police officers did what they did. They rounded up many thousands of suspected people. But at the end of the day, El Salvador now is the very safe situation. So the police has their role, the government has its role, and if all of us put our heads together, we can make it work.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking with us on this afternoon's NewsSpin program. We just heard there from former Justice Minister, former Deputy Police Commissioner, Mr. Herman Gill Francis. Let's continue the broadcast with your calls at 452-2979, 452-2979, along with your WhatsApp calls and messages, 716-2026. And once again, that is 716-2026. I think we have a call in line. Good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Sir Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Rick.
I want to ask a couple of questions. Would you consider St. Lucia a united country where people have similar aspirations, and you visibly see that, demonstrations of that St. Lucians stand up together for things that matter to all, common causes, we have common causes. Do you see any demonstrations of that?
The answer is no. The answer is no.
Eh?
No.
All right. But not only do you not see that, but you see, I would dare say, the contrary.
Yeah. The division that exists.
St. Lucians are perpetually at one. I've been saying that for years. whether they are aware of it or not, although I think now they are well aware of it, St. Lucians have been at war with themselves for the longest while. The poorest of the poor have been at war with themselves for the longest while. So if we have a disunited country, a country at war with itself, my next question to you is, is there any evidence whatsoever of any uniform purpose of our parliamentarians, that they have a uniform purpose, demonstrated interest in the best interest of St. Lucia? Do you see that?
No. And the contrary is they're just preoccupied with what is of importance to them. What would benefit them?
I would go so far in tune with what I just said earlier. I would go so far as to say they are in tune with helping each other fail. Am I right?
Yes.
That's rough talk. But the politicians on either side of the divide want one another, want their party to rise and the other party to fall regardless of cost. Am I right?
Yes.
So, Tim, you tell me, look around. You tell me what group of St. Lucians. I mean, recently you had a thing called the Alliance, which is a borrowed name from a dead party. You know, a bunch of groups, the Rise Up, and all these groups.
Mm-hmm.
A group of them came together for a meeting. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I'm aware.
I think they call themselves the Alliance, you know.
Yeah, some kind of alliance. Yeah.
Eh?
Some kind of alliance.
Kind of alliance. Now, Tim, you have to ask yourself, what have those groups, and their groups, what have they achieved by themselves, or what do you know their purpose is, and how that purpose has been demonstrated so that there's public faith in them?
Well, what we know, and the evidence does suggest that those groups emerge from time to time like a fad, like a fashion. They emerge and they somehow, maybe they have good intentions, but the efforts normally does not result to anything of significance.
I love the way you try to find honey no matter where it is.
That's not what, no, that's not what it is. I'm just saying that from my perspective, those groups emerge. Okay. They emerge from time to time. They put on a facade of attempting to address some of the ills of the society, but the evidence would prove that they have failed. That's the evidence would prove that they have failed.
Okay. From my perspective, those groups are usually aligned to one party or another. True or false?
In the case of Rise, I don't know that I could align that organization.
I'm not picking any individual groups. I said very carefully, my language is very careful.
Mm-hmm.
From my perspective, those groups are usually, I didn't say which one group, are usually aligned in one way or another with a political party.
You see, I do not want to paint all the groups with the same tar brush. That's what I don't want to do.
I did not say all.
Mm-hmm.
I did not say all. A number of them are. Okay, let's get the biggest of them all. Which is the biggest of them all?
To
the
me,
NYC?
The National Youth Council, the biggest of them all. Okay. No, I wouldn't say
National Youth Council. I would say.
I wouldn't say. I mean, I'll go for a private sector interest like the St. Lucia Chamber of Commerce.
Well,
because Rick, seriously, the NYC has not been that effective for decades now. People do not listen to the NYC. People do not take the NYC seriously. Even when press releases emerge on the newscasts, on newspapers, social media, etc., people just gloss through it, and
Tim, I beg you to listen to me a little more carefully, my friend.
Mm-hmm. I am listening to you.
The group that is best known and seen as a group, as opposed to the Chamber of Commerce, is the NYC. They're the ones who speak up for government, and government.
I disagree with you. The NYC has become irrelevant, Rick. The National Youth Council.
Irrelevance does not mean they don't get support, financial support, or at one time got financial support from the government of the day. We also know the history of the NYC when
Yeah,
it was started
I mean,
by Mario Michel at
it
the
has
particular
lost
time.
it has lost its influence, right? I mean, when I
I'm not
speak
talking about
about groups,
influence. I'm talking about well-known, Tim.
well
I'm not
known.
talking about influence.
I don't even know that the NYC is well known anymore.
All right,
Rick.
which one you think is the best known?
I don't think the NYC is
Which
well
is the
known.
best known then?
Best known organization right now in St. Lucia. I don't even think you have many. You don't have many of significance.
Anyway, let me move on. I want to remind you, by the way.
I mean, for example, Rick, you used to have Raise Your Voice. Where is Raise Your Voice? I mean, those organizations
why I'm trying to
only
avoid
exist in
mentioning.
name.
I'm trying to avoid mentioning names of groups. I am telling you that you and I are in the news, and we ought to know that quite recently a set of people came together to form some kind of alliance of these particular groups we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I say to you, individually, these groups don't have any record of success, and they have records of associations with political parties. That's what I'm saying to you. You remember that famous one in Beaufort? What was it called?
Yes, Concerned Citizens Group.
Exactly. Concerned Citizens Group, is that what it was called?
Yes, Concerned Citizens
It was
Group.
involved, and it became very politically involved?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's another one. But, you know, I want to remind you, Tim, before I go any further, that the Chamber of Commerce is supposed to be a pressure group, you know. A pressure group for farmers and business people and so on and so on. The last time the Chamber of Commerce appeared to be a pressure group was when
Okay, so
Garrett,
let me stop you there. So it's I just googled the V4 Concerned Citizens Coalition for Change.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Coalition.
Yeah.
But now we have the alliance. So what I wanted to point on that score was, if we cannot recall or put our finger on any achievement of those groups operating even individually, right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, as individual groups, they have failed.
You think that, so your thing is that whether they'll make a difference as a collective entity?
My usual line, when 100 cockroaches join 10 cockroaches, you merely have 110 cockroaches. You don't have one ego.
Yeah.
People seem to believe this thing but again, it's a pretense of unity. But when you do your homework and you dig, you will find how political those groups are. Even that alliance, I dare say, is riddled with politics, and I'm not necessarily talking party politics per se, you know. I'm saying politics that, of course, ultimately gets associated with a party. But the presumption that these guys are so involved and are going to do this, they don't. And it's not just them, and that's why I started the way I did. We are a country at war with itself. And I still want to talk about the Chamber of Commerce. The last time the Chamber of Commerce made news, useful news, amounted to anything was when, I don't know if you remember that, when Valmont, what's her name? I just gave you a name.
Yeah, Mr. Valmont?
Eh?
We referring to Mr. Valmont?
The Valmont, she's married. I forget her name. I just mentioned the name, but I slipped my mind now. That's years ago in the time of the bananas, Pat Joseph Haiti with bananas and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But few people would know the Chamber of Commerce is not meant as a mouthpiece for any government or to talk nice about things. The government. It's about a pressure group. But more often than not, statements from the Chamber of Commerce are in tune with what the government is doing, or etc. More so than it is pressuring the government to take things into account. Look at back in the day, Tim, a government fell because there was so much chaos in the country, and even in Parliament, George Odlum stood up at one point. I think that was the time of the Mace, you know. George Odlum stood up at one point and said to the House, without bothering about the Speaker, just stood up and announced he's just received a note in Parliament that the Chamber has decided to mount a strike a strike, business people, etc. That's when Josie made his statement, if anybody closes down, etc. You know that?
Yes, I remember.
Right. So that the last time the Chamber as far as anybody can see, work as a pressure group. A pressure group doesn't mean you're against the government. It means you take up causes and stand by them and make noise about them in the interest of the causes. It doesn't mean you're against the government. It means you are pushing the government to take note of this in the interest of the people. But when last did the Chamber of Commerce appear to be like that? So what I want to tell you is, we are at war with ourselves. Now, the thing Herman Gill says there reminds me of some Marine friends I used to know in California and so on. Tim, a trained soldier is always a trained soldier. Even when they go crazy, you will not hear them say one word against the Marines or whatever thing they belong to. Same with the police. Most policemen, no matter what, will speak well of the organization, you know. Philip C., who got crucified, died speaking well. Well, you interviewed him so many times, Tim.
Yeah.
Always something good about the police. But the police has its own problems that have nothing to do with crime, Tim. Let's not pretend. The police have promotion problems. The police have political problems. The police have, they can't take action on any other. The police are underpaid. The police have things like that unsettled matter. We've heard nothing more about that matter of sexual harassment.
Yeah.
The police has its own, not to mention the fallout from impacts. Those are problems killing the police force in every way and has nothing to do with the criminal thing that's going on right now. Are you with me?
Very much so.
So if the police itself is disconnected, has been turned into basically two parties and all, and they have their own problems and the cover-ups and they are depending on certain ministers to take care of them, or they give information that suits them to particular members of government. Those problems have nothing to do with crime resolution, crime detection at all. Am I right?
Yes.
So what are we talking about? We have to be more critical in our thinking. We have a disunited country. We have a country at war with itself. We have a police force at war with itself. We have a parliament at war with itself. And so now we have kids. I heard you just touch on that yesterday and moved on, because I know your time and people want to hear 100 people talking the same thing. Okay? When you spoke, you are the only one who referenced the Morella Joseph incident. I hope it's you.
Yes, it was.
Right after the Labour Party won the election in '97, Morella Joseph, the principal of the Beaufort School, comprehensive, whatever it is,
Comprehensive,
was cutlassed.
Mm-hmm. Right?
There was demonstrations that everybody was in the Labour Party winning a demonstration, whatever.
I mean, and Rick, it was shocking news then. Right now, it will certainly not shock anyone if a student happens to attack a teacher.
If you will permit me, we may find out why it's not shocking. I remember the motif, the mantra was zero tolerance of violence. And the teachers' unions, all of which were Labour parties, but I was there too. You know, 1997 Labour Party, everybody was Labour Party. Ingrid Skerritt, somebody just let me know the name I was looking for. And the name of the Chamber of Commerce president is Ingrid Skerritt. That was the last time the Chamber of Commerce appeared. Well, it was a pressure group. Now, I don't know what the F it is. I really don't know. My friend, longtime friend, Brian Louisi, when is the last time you heard Brian Louisi's voice?
Maybe about 6 months now. I haven't heard from him. Heard him in the news.
6 months?
More than that. About 6 months. About 6 months.
Do you remember what it was about?
Might have issued a press release or statement on the chamber and maybe the performance.
Well the government was doing with the economy.
No, the performance of the chamber. Some survey they would have conducted.
Well, there you go. Meanwhile, you have all these problems. You hear any comment from the chamber on crime? I was pointing out to you that at the time of Skerritt and what the crime, there was crime. And there was banana problems and whatnot. And she was, as a woman as well, when we talk about women, we act as if, it's a new. We had people like Lorraine Williams. How many St. Lucians remember Lorraine Williams?
I'm sure not many.
Lorraine Williams stood against her party. She was in cabinet, and she would do, I'm sure you remember that?
Yeah.
She would make public statements that were in conflict with what appeared to be what her government was pushing. Do you recall that?
Mm-hmm. What about people like Olinga Ford? Olinga
Ford, Lorraine Williams, Ingrid Skerritt, Miss Japanel from Labrie.
Yeah.
Let's not act like we have any women doing it, whatnot. The women we have now are nothing more than politicians in bras. If you close your eyes, they sound in every way, in tone, as well in what they're saying, like the stupid men who outnumber them in the house. So you will never hear a woman standing up in the house for an hour and saying what it is like to be raped in the most graphic terms, because I, as a guy, have interviewed a number of those victims. It is murder when you rape a woman. What woman have you heard talking about rape? Either herself, because most of them themselves have had horrible sexual problems in this country. That's what it's about, abuse of women sexually. Or they have sisters, or they have cousins, Tim. But you have never been treated to the horror of rape by a woman parliamentarian in St. Lucia, because that would go against the men. Lorraine Williams had hell to get the first version of the domestic violence bill. The House, the lower house would not touch it, postpone or adjourn. And you know why, Tim? Because there was an MP at the time who was in court for battering and holding a gun to his wife's head and kicking her.
Yeah.
So Lorraine Williams had to move that bill in the Senate. History. You see what I'm telling you? So we had women. It's nothing new now. Oh, we have women, this and that. What we have now is the illusion of inclusion. Women pretending to be women. But they're not. They're just politicians in bras. So I would like to put that kind of stuff in the mechanics of NewsSpin, so that our discussions, you, me, the chat room, can be based on reality and not dreams and crazy aspirations. Herman Gill Francis, when he talked to you there, was talking to you about an ideal police force, Tim. But our police force is fractured, so nothing he says is relevant is of any use. I don't mean to be putting down Herman Gill. It's just natural that Herman Gill wants to say the nicest things about the police, but the things he's talking about there relate only to an ideal force. Our force is a long way from ideal. In fact, I understand a number of those guys are quietly quitting, Tim. All right, we don't want your chat room.
Okay, thank you so much, Rick. Appreciate your contribution as always. You're watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world. In a moment, an explanation regarding a comment that was made several years ago that I will do what Kenny could not. You are watching and listening to NewsSpin. Experience the flavor of Martinique right on your taste buds. French Caribbean Wholesale and Retail Limited is thrilled to bring the exquisite flavors of Martinique close to you with their special opening offer. Buy one yogurt and get one half price. French Caribbean Wholesale and Retail Limited, conveniently located in the heart of Masad Industrial Estate. For more information, contact 486-5871. Once again, 486-5871.
85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbuta at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilex remote options are available to serve you every weekday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Call or send a WhatsApp message to 285-6796, 285-7859, 285-3593 or 285-3329. Or send an email to customersupport@lucilec.com for assistance. Call 457-4433 to get bill balances. Use myaccount.lucilec.com for detailed account information and to make online bill payments using a credit or debit card or online bank account. Customers may also take advantage of SurePay's online or walk-in service. Lucilec encourages you to use the available options for doing business with us remotely.
Celebrate Independence the KFC way from January 17th to February 29th. Grab the Independence box at KFC. Celebrate 45 years of independence as you indulge in 1 sandwich, 5 dipping wings, 2 pieces of chicken, 2 regular fries, and 2 regular drinks, all for only $45. Unbox and savor the taste of freedom with an Independence Big Box at KFC.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel and shoulder pain, cramps and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More pan more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More pan, more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video, can't stop. Unlimited talk, so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe in the lingo. Yes. More pan, more sell the tingo. It's more wet flow, now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
Night Meds is your dependable neighborhood pharmacy. You'll notice that upon entry, you are greeted by caring professional staff, attentive to your every need. Your prescriptions are always treated with a high degree of confidentiality, and we pride ourselves on providing speedy, efficient service. We carry a wide array commonly requested over-the-counter products, and our prices are very competitive. We offer blood pressure testing, blood sugar, and cholesterol testing. We're open to fill your prescriptions Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Come visit Sadu's gas station on the Miku Highway or call us at 572-6840 or WhatsApp 461-6840 for more information. Night Meds Pharmacy. We are your community med store.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start hair tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
The government of St. Lucia, through the Ministry of Health, Wellness, and Elderly Affairs, continues to provide more for pregnant women in St. Lucia. Through maternal and child health services under universal health coverage, pregnant women will receive laboratory and ultrasound services through community wellness centers island-wide at no cost. From care during and after pregnancy, vaccinations, family planning to nutritional and mental health counseling, we are here to support you. Take advantage of our weekly services at no cost. And from 1st June 2023, the addition of laboratory and ultrasound services will ease the pressure to aid healthier and safer delivery for you and your baby. Visit your nearest wellness center to register for universal health coverage. For more information, call 468-5300 or 468-5328.
So I think it's good for me to reflect back on when I was Prime Minister, we were in Cabinet. Right. When we were in opposition previously, and I made the statement, I will do what Kenny has not done. Right?
But did you?
Well, I didn't. Right? So
you owe my viewers an explanation.
Yeah. So I mean, the end of the day, you make a claim, and then you have to be man enough to say whether in fact you achieve that or not. But when we were in opposition, there was a certain perspective or perception that we had as to what was going on with fighting crime in this country. Did I believe for a moment that when I got in there to find out the police did not have any bullets?
They did not have any bullets.
Correct. So training was curtailed because they had to keep whatever bullets they had for real life situations. Right? The state of the vehicles, the state of the offices. I mean, I went into offices where policemen were sitting on books because the chair was rotten. Didn't have kettles. Right? The amount of money that was being spent on training, and that we were feeling the full impact of the Leahy law, which we knew that was in existence. We knew it would have been having an impact. But the government, the previous government, had done nothing. The morale of the police force, right? So the environment that we got into. Now, it's not just the police's responsibility to deal with crime in this country. All throughout the government, the inability or limitation of doing any kind of analysis of the situations and what some of the potential solutions were. The budget was just one small example. Right? People were just in the habit of taking the numbers that they had from the previous year, adding a couple of percentages on here and there, right? And as we said, try a thing, in hoping that the Minister of Finance would approve something. But nobody was really doing it any differently. So when we talked about me bringing in expertise to help people write a budget, it was necessary. We realized that that was all throughout the length and breadth of the government of St. Lucia. And we created what was called the delivery unit.
Right.
The judiciary system, the court system was not working. There was no DPP. The forensic lab was closed. All right? So the state of affairs that we inherited were much worse than I expected. And the resistance to change. Let's speak about border control.
Yeah.
Right? So we knew.
So what was the situation as far as patrolling our borders was concerned when you became Prime Minister?
None of the boats were working.
Wow.
And the radar systems were down and had been so for months. Okay?
Yeah.
So it was almost as if the government had created a policy to invite criminals into our country. Hey, this is a safe haven. Come and enjoy yourself.
United Workers' Party political leader and leader of the parliamentary opposition, Mr. Alan Shatner, speaking last evening and being interviewed by Leonard Spider Motut during a UWP roundtable discussion. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And of course, Kimani, what is happening in the chat room?
In the chat room, someone says, we need to stop looking in the ghettos for the criminals when we all know the ghettos men may just get a voucher automatically for the job done for the high men from the police. Another comment in the chat room, someone says, Rick, the country is not united, but the criminals are, and the rest of the country is being controlled by the criminals through fear, because our leader of state is in a state himself and undermining all St. Lucians as stupid. Another comment, SLBs don't have the answers to crime, they are lost, so they're up to the usual mischievous and slanderous deeds. Meanwhile, young men, dead bodies are in drains, on the streets, in the bush, riddled with bullets almost every day, and life goes on. Really, St. Lucians, are you satisfied? Tim, I disagree. These groups do not emerge as part of a fad. They are deliberately set up to be echoes of the Labour Party. We don't need to sugarcoat anything. It's clear, because why are they definitely silent now that Labour is in power?
We have a call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Timothy, a pleasant good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. PW on the line, Timothy.
Good afternoon.
Timothy, I didn't listen to your show yesterday, but I want you to help me with this. The chief educational officer, did she say that school was dismissed when that incident happened at the Cicero school?
No, I don't think she made reference to that, no. She just focused entirely on the incident and said that the matter is being investigated by the police.
Timothy, a lot of these schools, I must say, Timothy, are insecure, Timothy. You go there, the property, the fencing around the school is damaged. Some schools, the fencing is incomplete. You go there, you walk into the school, there's no security at the various posts, Timothy, or the entrance of the school, Timothy. So what do you expect, Timothy? The chief educational officer knows that I don't want to blacklist the school, but know that that area is in an area where it is troubling. So there must be good security at that school in particular. So I am not, I agree with people that do not want to send their children to these government schools and want to send their children to private schools, Timothy. But the politicians do not send their children to these schools, Most of the politicians, I tell you, and the principals of these schools send their children to more or less private schools. So it makes me feel that they don't care about the security of these schools, Timothy, or the proper functioning of these schools. Timothy, I can tell you, Timothy, a lot happens at these schools. Some of the incidents are unreported. I had a particular incident where I was taking care of a young man and he got stabbed in a particular school. And when I arrived there, Timothy, the teacher and the head teacher told me to keep that on a low key. They do not want the word to come out that child got stabbed at the school. You understand? They do not even want to call the police in. They want you, actually, if an incident happened at the school, do you know they want you as the parent to report that to the police instead of the school report that to the police? I have found myself in a situation like that. And then now you have to beg the police to bring that issue to court. Bring that incident to court. When we brought the incident to court, Timothy, guess what? It went to mediation. Actually the perpetrator of the crime had a lawyer. He had a mediator on his side. I had a mediator on my side. The mediator on my side and the mediator on the perpetrator of the crime side, guess what? Is the family of the guy that stabbed the young man I was taking care of. And if I wasn't good, Timothy, you know, at mediation, you know what they said to me, Timothy? That they're willing to give the boy $800. Now, $800 was just the medical bill of the boy. So I said, no, that cannot happen. Then I asked the magistrate, what's the maximum for stabbing somebody? He told me it was what? Either $4,000 or $5,000. And then I said I want the maximum. If I wasn't persistent in saying that I want the maximum, the young man would have only gotten his money only for his medical treatment. That was all, Timothy. So the chief educational officer need to go out there and do the job she's supposed to do. The principals of these schools need to do the job they're supposed to do. And I'll tell you something. They will not send the best of principals to work at these schools. They will not send the best of principals to work at these schools. They would send the worst. I'm not saying that the person at the particular school there wasn't the best of principal. That's what I'm saying, wasn't the best of principal. I'm just saying that they will not send the best to areas like this, Timothy. The ministry need to wake up. The government need to wake up and provide proper security for the schools island-wide. Timothy, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. WhatsApp message. Tim, good afternoon. I honestly believe that PJP should relieve himself of the Ministry of National Security and give it... Okay, I want not to read this one. Might just land me in some trouble there. All right, let's see. Do we have some calls? 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a WhatsApp call. Hello and good afternoon to you. You're on the air.
Timothy Poleon, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
I just want to remind, good afternoon, Kimani. I just want to remind everybody. You remember sometime close to the ending of last year, a ranking officer of the police force did write the principals of the school, informing them of the law and what was required when a student commits an offense against the law. Mm-hmm. You remember the time? Within 15 minutes of the principals and them or the ministry receiving this correspondence from the inspector, the commissioner, the former acting commissioner of police, Mr. Ronald Finney, had a press statement and he made an immediate retraction. That chopping incident at Ciceron, why are they now calling on the police to investigate? When you remember for the firearm, it was said that the school, the Ministry of Education, would have dealt with that at the education level. In which world does any ministry have any authority to investigate or prosecute any criminal action under the law? That is food for thought. There are more to come, you know. There'll be many, many more. Yesterday I was driving up the road to my home and I saw two little boys in a little scuffle, probably 12, 9, 10, not even 12. 9, 8, 9 or so. And the two little boys, they're in a scuffle, and they had about 6 or so other little children shouting, hey, fight, fight, fight. Only to find out that when the bigger of the two boys realized that the smaller one pulled out a knife about 8 inches long. Wow. He threw him down and he started running down the road. The little boy with the knife fell down the road after him, trying to stab him. So I called on, because I was driving, I didn't have time to see the knife when he took off running. It's when the boy was running, I saw him with the knife. So I called in some of the elder guys standing by the road, and I tell them, try and stop that little boy before the boy ended up stabbing the other guy. And they run. But I was already driving up the road, and I was holding traffic quiet, so I couldn't stop. But this is what we're getting in our schools. Are we going to wait for that to get worse before we address it? So when the commissioner and them, for whatever reason, whether political or not, want to come and retract statements when persons who are knowledgeable of the law giving information to the principals of how to deal with these matters, we need to go back to the drawing board and rethink a lot of things that we are doing. I thank you, Tim.
Thank you so much for that contribution, sir. Let's return to the chat room, Kimani, and what's happening there.
In the chat room, someone says, PW, you did great this afternoon. No shouting, continue like that. That makes Tim very happy. Does that make you happy, Tim?
It really does not matter.
Doesn't.
It doesn't.
Another comment, because those groups are extensions of the SLP and the campaign machine, if not, where are they now? By the way, which groups is aligned to UWP? Definitely not NewsSpin. Am I right, Tim?
Hell no.
Another comment. Tim, today is already the 9th of February and I have not heard the date of the protest march Philip JPS said he would hold before independence. Another comment. Rick, the politicians are the ones to unite the country, but they are the ones who are dividing us. Another comment. Almost 3 years, 3 investigations, a special prosecutor, but no arrest. But yet they keep talking. Someone says, oh, is that the non-politicization of crime that PJP was talking about? That's it in the chat room, Tim.
All right, thank you so much. Let me see if I have any on your WhatsApp messages. We need new MPs in the House, both sides. Whenever guys are there will always be problems in St. Lucia. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message.
Says the judiciary is the problem. There's no deterrent in place. Even when criminals are arrested, they are back out on the streets on bail. So how can you expect the police to be enthusiastic about doing a good job?
Somebody says, it's really sad when I listened to a particular talk show in the morning and heard the host threatening to slap someone whom he thought disrespected him and making comments that if he were the Prime Minister, he would slap anyone who tries to tell him nonsense. Yes, Tim, that's the kind of talk show hosts we have today. So what do we expect when it comes to crime? You are watching and listening to the most monitored talk show in the world, and of course that is NewsSpin. Experience the flavor of Martinique right on your taste buds. French Caribbean Wholesale and Retail Limited is thrilled to bring the exquisite flavors of Martinique close to you with a special opening offer. Buy 1 yogurt and get 1 half price. French Caribbean Wholesale and Retail Limited, conveniently located in the heart of Massad Industrial Zone. For further information, call 486-5871. That is 486-5871.
I'm the living legacy.
This one will be epic. It is Legacy 45, Independence Edition, Saturday, February 10th, 2024. A night of Calypso icon from St. Vincent with superb vocals and repertoire. Beckett.
From the time I leave the barber, girl, I rush me.
Yes, Beckett.
Reggae teaser.
From Barbados, the legend himself, Mighty Gabby. Gabby. And the electrifying, dynamic Ras Island. Ras Island! And repping our St. Lucian flag, the Maestro Papa Veda. The groovy master King Alpha. The reigning monarch, T-Black.
Don't kill people.
And Mr. Desrod, plus lots more. It's gonna be a blast. Legacy 45, Saturday, February 10th at the newly fully air-conditioned at the Pavilion at Rodney Bay, 8 p.m. Early bird ticket $70 till January 30th. Regular $85. Pay more at the door. Tickets available at Steve's Barbershop and The Way. Legacy sponsored by KFC, Republic Bank, First Citizen, and the Independence Committee.
There is only one option when they arrive. Our services will make the dead look alive. With Bouteille and Beaufort accessibility. Remember, we have the only private cemetery. No one can match our prices from coffins to corsage. Personalized service you get when Lazarus take charge. Quality service, no package to make your wallet bleed. Lazarus is your true friend in your time of need.
Coming soon, the same excellent Luselect service in a new location at Daisy Avenue in Sanssouci, Castries. Thanks for your patience.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
Catch the new vibe and the lingo. More upon more so the tingo. Is more wet flow if you didn't know. All these deals is a winner. More upon more wet flow. More data, more talk for sure. More WhatsApp, video cast app, unlimited talk so you not stop chat.
Flow prepaid combo plans just got better. Loaded with even more data and unlimited talk. Take advantage of WhatsApp and all its features with our new prepaid plans. Unleash your creativity with more social media. Dial *129 $ to activate.
Now that's the new vibe and the lingo. Yes. More upon more see how the tingo. It's more wet flow now you really know. Catch it now. All these deals make you save more. Get more.
An exquisite 3-bedroom modern villa, panoramic ocean views, well-equipped modern appliances, a plunge pool. Bon Esprit Villa. For that quiet getaway in a lush green space. Your home away from home. Understated decadence, tranquility, and harmony. For special occasions and weekend getaways, the perfect escape. Bon Esprit Villa. Book now. Call 486-7965.
In these modern times, the field of medicine has become so advanced that no one has to suffer any longer before they can be seen by a specialist doctor. La Clinique de Corps is proud to be the only healthcare provider in St. Lucia to offer the best and most experienced specialist doctors who are capable to first correctly diagnose and then successfully treat health conditions such as chronic back pain, spinal injury, sciatica, numbness, lupus, arthritis, joint pain, facial nerve pain, knee, heel, and shoulder pain, cramps, and carpal tunnel syndrome. Also available at La Clinique de Corps, complete nerve tests to detect nerve injury or muscle disease. All health insurances are accepted at La Clinique de Corps. So walk again pain-free with La Clinique de Corps. To book an appointment, please call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950.
Automotive art is a place to start. Automotive art is a place to start.
Yeah, look, check. We got a wide range of products that are automotive and do-it-yourself supplies if you got a moment. Smart staff that'll always know it. Got rims and tires from trucks to high performance to off-roading. Start here, tools, batteries, oil, and car care.
Automotive art is a place to start.
Gouvernement Saint-Lucie qui travaille avec ministre pour santé bien portant, exaffaire grand monde et qu'a offert plus pour femmes qui enceintes en Saint-Lucie. En bas plan Universal Health Coverage avec service pour maman et riche, provision déjà faite pour femmes enceintes joindre service laboratoire et sondage sans payer des sous. Yo kay joindre aussi vaccine, conseil pour bâtir famille, information à sous nourriture et conseil pour santé sévère. Nous là pour supporter. Venez et prendre l'avantage de service salaire tous les semaines sans payer des sous. Commencez le 1er juin 2023. Service laboratoire et sondage pour un lien qui aide à mettre femmes enceintes en plus bonne santé et fait plus sauve pour maman et riche. Visitez Health Center qui plus pour là et registrez pour Universal.
In a moment, we'll hear from the lady who's responsible for ensuring that you have water in your tap. First, Alternative Security Services is offering a Get Hired on the Spot job fair, which is being held today. And it started at 9 o'clock this morning. It ends at 3 this afternoon at the Castries Town Hall. Applicants are hereby asked to walk with a valid ID, must be between the ages of 20 and 50 years old, of sound mind and body, and must be able to read and write. Let us hear now from Zilta George Leslie of the Water and Sewage Company. A lot of people have been without potable water over the last few days, particularly in the north of the island.
WASCO acknowledges the inconvenience caused by the recent water supply interruptions to some areas on the northern system due to essential maintenance work. Your frustration is understandable, and we sincerely apologize for the extended duration of these interruptions. At present, maintenance work is being carried out at the Thebes treatment plant in Cicero. These works are responsible for the current low pressures experienced on the network and will continue for the next 5 days. To alleviate this situation, WASCO has activated valving and trucking services to the affected areas. These corrective measures will continue to be utilized until the maintenance works are completed and the system returns to normal. We recognize the urgency of the situation, and our team is working tirelessly to restore the water supply as quickly as possible. Our technicians are implementing additional measures to expedite the process and to minimize further disruptions. The supply of water has been restored to 80% of the northern system. Currently, the remaining affected areas are Monnier, Piat, Degazon, Assou Canal, White Rock, Inglewoods, Grand Rivière, La Feuille, La Retraite, Rivière-Mitan, Emerald Development, Casaba, Beauséjour, Moshi, Cap Estate, and Environs. Towards the end of February 2024, WASCO also intends to execute a planned shutdown of the already compromised raw water line between the John Compton Dam and the Vanna Pumping Station. The public will be kept updated with further developments regarding this planned shutdown. Please rest assured that we are committed to resolving this current issue to better provide you with a reliable water supply. Your patience and understanding during this time is greatly appreciated. A further update will be provided in a timely manner. Thank you for your continued support and cooperation as we work to reinstate your service.
You just heard there from Mrs. Zilta George Leslie of the Water and Sewage Company. So a lot of you have been without potable water over the last few days, particularly in the north, and you're told that the supply has been restored to 80% of households, and every effort is being made to remedy the situation. Let's continue with your calls at 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. And of course, we have the chat room. We continue to monitor your behavior and some of the comments that you're making in the discussion. Somebody says that, Tim, the cake shop will not take my order to bake a birthday cake for my girlfriend. Reason being, there is a sugar shortage. Now, the question is there still a sugar shortage on island? Because I know there's several establishments with sugar, businesses and so on, supermarkets with sugar, but they're just rationing it. What has happened as far as you, Kimani? Do you have sugar?
I got sugar.
Okay.
But apparently I got it from it's now finished.
Okay.
Because imagine everyone is now clamoring to get sugar, and then obviously the supply is going to run low.
You see, we have a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air. Let's see if we get this call on the air. Okay, let's try again. Hello, good afternoon. Calling from the diaspora. This is NewsSpin.
Hi, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon to you, ma'am.
Hi. Good afternoon. How are you?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Hi, Kimani.
Hi, good afternoon.
Tim, how are you?
I'm
Tim,
alright.
I have a question for Ernest Hiller.
Mm-hmm.
During COVID, right, Alan Shashney had did an ad that was the taxpayer money. Why Ernest Hiller had to pay somebody to do the same ad, twist it around, do the same ad? And when Alan Shaftney did it during COVID, they had a problem with it. Yo sante Solo, yo sante Margaret, yo sante Lawas, and they even dance Western with it. It's not the taxpayer money who did this ad? Yes, but let them people know. C'est ici pas moun qui ignore encore. There's no jackass in St. Lucia. Social media is there for each and everyone. All right?
Caller, are you sure? Are you sure we don't have any jackass in St. Lucia or jackasses in St. Lucia?
No, we
don't have any.
Everyone in St. Lucia are bright team.
I disagree with you. Not
Why?
everyone. Not everyone is bright. So not because your mom calls you
Everyone
son means you're
because-
shining. So I mean, we have jackasses everywhere, caller. So don't tell me we don't have any jackasses in St. Lucia. We don't have any.
Team, we all are bright team.
Okay.
People in St. Lucia just plain they're naive
All right.
and selfish, and because of politician, because of red and yellow team. When Alan had the heart to do it himself, why Ernest Hiller didn't come and do it? Why he had to pay somebody? He paye un software, il paye it pour faire ad la bayi. He paye un software pour faire ad la. Feel like people on the same thing Alan do, they twist it around. Instead of they give Alan, no matter what, give Alan the praise. Yo sente tout Solo en l'air, yo sente tout Margaret, yo sente tout Lawas, right? And right now, in what going in St. Lucia, all the killing, guess what they do? They do a fantastic ad in America. There's no jackass team. Team, I thank you.
Thank you so much for calling, ma'am. Calling from the diaspora. Think we have another call in line, do we? 452-2979. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Timothy Poleon. Comment you? Comment?
Muy bien.
Moi, ça va bien. Bon. Il y a beaucoup qui a parlé là-haut. Tout souvent, tout bafou m'a fout la chaud, banane ou là-haut. Nous n'y a assez de l'eau pour nous fouler tout. Et si ou pas toujours gagne venant fort sick bao. Vous comprenez? Bon, il y a des business. Et up to now, t'as gagné l'année depuis là, il y a joué, bon, pas content rien.
Un DPP neuf.
Si money back, money tellement, moi just like I did, bye bye Timothy, and keep on doing the good work as you're doing it. Keep on doing the good work as you're doing it. Bye bye Tim.
Okay, Nene. Thank you so much for calling the broadcast. We've had a DPP in office for a very long time. I think he's maybe referring there to the special prosecutor. Let's see if we have another call. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You on the air. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Kimani, good afternoon to you as well.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've been out there and look up things for a little bit, but I just want you to engage me a little. Wasn't somebody appointed by the Ministry of Education for the security purposes at school?
No.
To be a consultant or something like that?
Yes, to conduct an audit regarding security in schools. Mr. Osbert Regis, former police commissioner. And that assignment was for a 6-month period. I would like to believe that that period has ended.
So where's the report?
The report might be with the minister or the Ministry of Education.
But Tim, who's paying for that report?
All of us are paying for it, taxpayers.
So how come we're not privy to that report?
I don't know. You'll have to pose that question to the education minister.
Okay, Tim. I'm moving on. The CIP. Have we gotten a report as to who are the persons, a publication as to who are the persons who have bought passports?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
It's been 2 years we have not gotten a report, right?
No, we haven't.
So what was all the big noise between 2016 and 2021 about the United Workers' Party not providing a report? Tim?
I'm listening to you, sir. I'm listening.
And that's just two instances where I just figured, I might make mention of. But there's so many others. Tim, what is this government doing for this country? Is this government working in our interest, or are they ensuring that they provide jobs for their persons to put in positions, and so they will not feel or they will not be able to live the lifestyles that they lived before United Workers Party came into office? Because I am seeing clearly there were some of them who could not even have changed their vehicles. And as soon as United SLP came into office, they have changed their vehicles. They have bought brand new vehicles, and they know within 5 years they'll be able to pay. Tim, is that what a government is all about?
Caller, you want me to engage you on those issues? Because, I mean, those are your observations. So don't expect me, to chime in on your observations. Those are your observations. Yeah.
And let me just go on further. Tim, I listened to Ipa this morning. He was talking about so many people coming down and the opening trees and the opening things. You know the reason why so many people have to engage in opening up trees and starting that type of business is because there's a lack of jobs in the country. Mm-hmm. And if they figure out that's one of the easiest ways for them to be able to create employment, they'll stick that direction because that's one of the easiest ways. But Tim, this government has come into office and so many persons have lost their jobs. We will see so many more persons opening trades in town, And it's a sad thing to see. That's what people have to resort to get ends meet. Because when these things start happening, you know what it causes? It causes sort of like like there's so many of them, nobody can sell because that one have to be selling under price just to get a sale. And all of them are selling the very same thing. Tim, this government needs to create ways so people can get employed in this country, The cost of living in St. Lucia is at the top. I keep hearing people talking about what the price of gas. Tim, the price of gas has gone down on the international market. Ours has remained the same, like it has been the same price on the market, like it has never gone up or it has gone down. We need to be careful. The government is picking up all those funds. And I, as one individual, cannot see where those funds are being spent. The government at last budget said they recognized $70 million more than they projected. What is all that money is being used for? I cannot see the use of those monies, Tim. The government needs to be more accountable to the people. They were put in by the people. I guess a lot of people who supported them stay quiet because my government is on, so I don't care what they do. Whatever they do is the best thing. But I keep saying, when you support a government and they're doing the wrong things, when they get out of office, you will be the first to suffer, You will be the first to suffer because now you want to talk and you want to say all the things that they're not doing that's good. We need to be very careful. When a government is in office and we support them, we're doing the wrong things. At least go to your MP, go to the people that you voted for, tell them what you are doing is wrong. So we can see changes going in the country. Tim, I thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And I have some info of this caller who just contributed to the broadcast this afternoon regarding the security audit. In September of last year, the island's education minister, in a special address to the nation, did speak on that audit, and he went on to assure parents, students, and staff that his ministry had received the recommendations from a recent security audit, and he would be implementing them, those recommendations. So the recommendations have been forwarded to the education minister, and according to that address that he delivered in September of last year, the recommendations from a recent security audit, and those were being implemented. So, there you have it, that the audit is in the possession of the education minister, and he is implementing those recommendations, which was the work of former Police Commissioner Mr. Osbert Regis as part of an assignment given to him. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have a call. Hello, good afternoon, you're on the air. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Timothy.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, concerned parents,
Mm-hmm.
And I have been talking, and this morning I was talking to some police officers who gave me a ride to work this morning, and I was talking to them about the children. Right now, I seen for myself, because when was that Friday? That passed, I went and paid a bill at court, and then coming out from court, coming outside, and checking out by the bus stops there, seeing people running, children running over there, police catching one school boy. He didn't have the school uniform on him, but, you know, he had went home already and changed. And one long cutlass, the cutlass, imagine, longer than the boy's leg. When I watch it, Timothy, I seen for real, we're going to need police officers in schools just now to search those children's school bag coming in and going out. And what I seen as a parent, I seen, you see, during the week, Monday to Friday, I seen like we should have police, SSU police, at least 3 or 2 SSU police, you know, by each bus stop in Castries, you know, and I think they had a time where they had the school children to be living in live and go at home, you know. So them police officers, the SSU police officers, should be at least 2 or 3 police officers by each bus stops in Castries and allow those children to leave Castries and go home, take the bus and go. Because the kind of things I see in St. Lucia now in school, we didn't have those things before.
Yeah. What about what about the other duties? The SSU officers, they have other duties, you know.
Yeah, they have other duties, but you see, a lot of people, you see the SSU police is respect. When you see the SSU police in town, they does not play. And from time I raise and I check myself, I just know the SSU police, that would give them a good, you know, even though for 3 months or 4 months, you know, let them cool out on the bus stop, you know, even though it's 2 or 3, a lady and a man SSU by each bus stop when school dismissed, that would be good.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. Clearly not a good time to be a police officer, Kimani, because police officers have to maintain the peace, maintain law and order. As far as those criminal elements are concerned, people with illegal guns and ammunition, and now raising its ugly head, the issue with indiscipline among our students, to the extent that they're having cutlasses in their possession, whether it's in the public, as we heard from this caller, or on the school compound. Very serious.
Definitely not a good time to be a police officer. Better time than me, though.
Yeah.
Or you.
I don't qualify at all to be a police officer. I'll never be able to arrest anyone, Kimani. I'll just be able to beg people, you know, please go to the police station, you know, please. Anyway, what's in the chat room?
Another comment, some comments in the chat room. We have no sugar or garlic in the South. Someone says, so these days you have to ask family or friends who are traveling to bring sugar down for them. Tim, I believe there is sugar, but it is being given out bit by bit. Someone says, Tim, some supermarkets you have to register your name, and when they get, they call you. Someone says, Wasco, show your appreciation by giving the people a break on their bill. Someone says, the place that have the most people, no water. Another comment, I want no apologies. I need water, and neither do I have the patience. Someone says, my family in Grand Riviere Grocery needs water now. It's 2024. What's the excuse? Someone says, the battle relay is the protest march. And another comment, St. Lucians, my question is, are you going to remain on your behind and allow our beautiful country to go down without you standing? It's because of such a discriminating government.
What's the message? Dr. Ernest Hilaire, the Deputy Prime Minister, asked for an apology from Dominic Fede for his statement about the criminals. I hope he makes an apology on behalf of the SLP lapdog who wrote and circulated the flyer. It boils down to the same thing.
The SSU today is nothing compared to what it was before. And someone says, who was the guy recently hired as chief security for schools? Where is he? They're referring to the former, I think.
No, I don't think it was chief security for schools, but he was given that assignment to conduct the audit.
I think
Police Commissioner Osbert Regis.
Oh, we're referring to 2 different people.
Mm-hmm.
I think the former. Oh wait, that's different. I think he was given sports. Okay. The former principal of Leonis Secondary School.
Yes. Youth and sports.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone says the weekend is here, and some of us, myself, are already worried about what can and may happen. So many bloody weekends, SMH. That's it in the chat.
Okay, let's see. Do we have a final call, Mr. Producer? No, we don't. So somebody is trying to get us on 452-2979. So if you care to, can call right now. You will be our final contributor to the broadcast. Do we have another WhatsApp? All right, somebody says there via WhatsApp. Let me see if I can get this. Tim, we got sugar in V4 at Massey last evening. And another WhatsApp message. Tim, I have a serious concern. I just got a bill from Wasco, which I've never paid before, from $45 to $140. There's only 2 of us at home. I have a garage next to me. These guys use water 24/7 and only pay $24 monthly. I need somebody to make it make sense for me. Anyways, I paid the bill at SurePay. I put $50 on the bill. I went back yesterday to pay the balance, and the bill still remains the same price. Shaking my head. We have that call? Yes. Good afternoon. This is NewsSpin. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, team.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. You were the one trying to get us?
Yes,
Okay.
I've been trying for a while, but
All right.
the number wasn't going through. Yes.
Go ahead.
My concern is with the chief education officer, which they newly appointed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I heard her making comments about the incident they had at the Cicero school.
Yeah.
But what I would like to say is, if she cannot put peace in one school, why would she ask, for peace in another school? Because she was of the Camille Henry, and she has put so much division there between the teachers and the acting principal.
Caller, that is not fair, because the lady is not in a position to defend herself on that allegation that you're making. So I don't think you ought to make that allegation, ma'am. She's not in a position to, she's not on the program to clear herself, to clear her name.
Parent.
No,
And
no.
what is going in the school is really not good.
Mhm.
You cannot speak against teachers because she got the position at the ministry.
Yeah. But we don't know the facts surrounding that particular issue, so we don't to venture there. Okay, ma'am? Thank you so much for your contribution. All right, let me turn my attention to our NewsSpin news of the day. NewsSpin news of the day. In India, the Calcutta High Court yesterday was told that women prisoners were getting pregnant while under custody in prisons of West Bengal, and that about 196 babies were said to have been born in different jails in the state. In India, the Calcutta High Court yesterday was told that women prisoners were getting pregnant while under custody in prisons of West Bengal, and that about 196 babies were said to have been born in different jails in the state. That's our NewsSpin news of the day. That's the broadcast as well for today and this week. Thank you so much for watching on our NewsSpin Facebook page, on YouTube. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. And also, you've been listening on Power 97.9